What's up, guys? Welcome to Heroes Avenue. My name is Darren, and today we are talking about Zack Snyder stuff. Not Zack Snyder projects, but some of the things that Zack Snyder has said in recent interviews about the DCEU. And so these are coming from two separate interviews. One is coming from Jake's Take, and the other one is from Radio Times. And Zack Snyder, he is commenting on the Black Superman and how Warner Brothers has chosen to go that route instead of using Henry Cavill. And this is what Zack Snyder had to say. So he says, "My feeling is that I love J.J. Abrams. I love what he's done in the past. I'm interested to see what happens. It's a bold and cool and probably a long overdue move, but I love Henry Cavill as Superman. And of course, I do. He's my Superman." He continues and says, "I'm not really involved in any of the decision making at Warner Brothers in any way. So I guess for me, it's just wait and see what they do with this and how it manifests itself. But on the surface, it seems interesting." So it sounds to me, Zack Snyder's on board for a Black Superman storyline. I don't think I really commented on how I feel about this. I feel a lot of these things, I feel like conflicted because one, I feel like they're just doing it just for inclusivity. And it sounds like this movie has an agenda behind it. But at the same time, even though they are doing from what I've heard, a Black Kal-El story, it does sound very interesting. I feel like the story, there's so much to be told in this Black Superman story. An alien coming down to Earth, and then he realized that he wants to help people and save them, but at the same time, these people are threatened by him, or he's witnessing racism based off of his skin tone, and then how that conflicts someone as a hero that is trying to do good in the world is very interesting to see, and I feel like there's so much rich story that could be played with. So I feel like it's an interesting take, even though I know there's probably going to be an agenda behind it, but I feel like if we're able to get a good story, I'm all for it. But I would rather have Henry Cavill, to tell you the truth. I mean, I think we can all agree Henry Cavill is the epitome right now of what Clark Kent should look like and how he should act. And I feel like Henry Cavill should get his second chance at a Man of Steel 2 movie. And so it is a lost cause, but it is what it is at this point. I mean, I'm still going to watch it, and I'm really interested in how they're going to play this story, but I would want Henry Cavill in it. But, of course, Zack Snyder, this guy's a true gentleman. He's going to give some kind words to his fellow colleague, J.J. Abrams, and, of course, wish them well with this new project. And, it is going to be intriguing to see on the screen a different take of Superman. And he is right. It does, at the same time, it does sound long overdue. And we live in crazy times now. We're in 2021, and it feels like we're at a perfect time where maybe a new take of Superman could be successful, could not be at the same time. But we could get into that discussion later on. I know a lot of people hate the fact that they're changing Superman to a black character, or Black Clark Kent, if you will. And so I know there's a lot to unfold. We could go back and forth with this, but that is my take, and I just wanted to let you guys know on how Zack Snyder feels about this. So I'm not surprised at all. This guy's a true gentleman. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next comment that Zack Snyder talked about. So Zack Snyder, he went on a recent interview with Jake's Take, and he talked about Restore the Snyderverse and what he feels about it, and if we should hold hope for a future of restoring the Snyderverse. And let me just play you the interview, because this guy, again, Zack Snyder is a true gentleman. He's always going to, he doesn't want to burn any bridges besides with Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers just basically burned that bridge to Zack Snyder. So it's nice to see Zack Snyder kind of like opening up a little bit, being a little bit more honest and how he feels about Warner Brothers. He's giving us a little taste. I know he's pissed off at Warner Brothers and how he treated him, and he has the right to. But it's kind of cool to see him kind of talk more about Warner Brothers. And so let me just go ahead and play the interview.
they're giving me the rap. I geeked out with you hard when the Snyder Cut came out in March because I love that film. Right now, the Restore the Snyderverse fan movement, we're kind of in this limbo because we don't really know whether or not to continue to feel hope because of some of the comments that Warner Brothers has made lately of sort of like, oh, Zack got to complete his trilogy. What is your, we didn't want to give up hope with the Snyder Cut before, so we don't want to give up hope now. So what would you say about, like, because we're kind of in this weird gray area, what should we maintain hope?
Well, I mean, I guess I would think about it this way. Yes, Warner Brothers has been aggressively anti-Snyder, if you will, and that's what can you say? What can I say? Like, they're not interested in my take. But I would also say that, they certainly weren't interested in, I would have said originally in my take on Justice League. They certainly made decisions about that. And I love the characters and I love the world. And I think it's an amazing place to make a movie it's glorious IP. So there's that. I don't know what could be done as you go forward, other than I think this, the fan movement is so strong and the fan community is so, the intention is so pure, and I really have huge respect for it. And I just, I would hope that, cooler heads would prevail with them, and that, they would see that there's this massive fandom that wants more of that. But who knows what they'll do.
I choose hope, sir.
All right, so I love the fact that, Zack Snyder, he recognizes the IP of DC Heroes. He says it's a glorious IP. Like, there's so much potential, there's so much story to be told. Like, you could tell just by the way this guy talks about DC characters, he loves the lore, he loves everything about it, and it's always disheartening. It's always very sad to me to see him talk about these heroes, because there could possibly never be a day we will see another DC movie made by Zack Snyder again. And so he talks about the fans, and he says, like, if Warner Brothers needs to recognize, us fans, that there's so much interested fans out there that want to see, Zack Snyder's work come to fruition, and if they don't see it, then they're totally blind. There's a missed opportunity there, and it's very hard to hear. And then you got him talking about how Warner Brothers is aggressively anti Zack Snyder. He confirms that Warner Brothers and him, there's no relationship at this point. They definitely cut ties, and it's our responsibility as fans to keep the hope alive. Like Jake said, he's gonna keep the hope alive and keep doing the hashtag Restore the Snyderverse in hopes that Warner Brothers listens to the fans, because we are the ones that are bringing in the bacon for them, right? We're the ones that are watching the movies. You got to keep your customers happy, right? So I love his answer. It's very, again, it sounds like he doesn't want to burn any bridges, but Warner Brothers did it first. They burned that bridge to Zack Snyder. And I love how Zack Snyder is always on the fan side. He's always has the fans back, because we had his back when times was rough. And so it's an interesting time, because we don't know, like, how things are going to play out. Like, we are definitely in that gray area, right? Like, the Snyder Cut would never have happened if we weren't vouching for releasing the Snyder Cut. And now that we're in Restore the Snyder Cut phase, we have to keep that hope alive and just keep annoying the hell out of Warner Brothers for them to listen to us, and to show them that there's these devoted fans that want to see this story come to life. And if, like, you have to recognize that. If you're not recognizing that, you're blind. You're missing all this cash that can be made by giving the fans what they want, right? At least come to an agreement some way, somehow. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys these interviews. It's an awesome interview. I always love hearing Zack Snyder's comments on the DCEU and what Warner Brothers is currently doing with their take of superheroes and all the changes that they're making. So let me know in the comments below. What do you guys feel about all of this? Let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys again. Bye.